My beloved child, quiet your heart in this moment and listen as I speak with the tenderness, yet full authority, of eternal love. There have been days when you walked as though carrying too many invisible burdens upon your shoulders. You smiled at the world, yet deep within you were silently wrestling with weariness, with unanswered questions, and with the feeling that the door before you would never open. But today, I want you to know that heaven has not been silent before your sighs. I have never turned away from your journey, not even for a single moment, even before you knew what to ask for in prayer. I had already seen the end of the road and prepared a future filled with hope for you. Just as it is written, for I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Do not think that the seasons you have passed through were merely a series of meaningless days. Not one of your tears has fallen without my seeing it. Not one night have you tossed and turned in loneliness without my being beside you. I allowed you to pass through dry places not so that you would collapse, but so that you would learn to recognize where the true source of water comes from. There are things I do not answer immediately, because if I gave them too soon, while your soul was still fragile, what was meant to become a blessing could turn into a burden for you, just as a seed must be buried in the darkness of the soil before it rises into a harvest. Your soul also needs to be prepared in secret before stepping into the abundance I have already appointed for you. Remember the widow of Zarephath in the days of the prophet Elijah. She had only a handful of flour and a little oil left, enough for one desperate meal before waiting for death to come. But when she dared to place her small trust in my word, the miracle began to appear day by day. The jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry. I want you to understand that my miracles do not always arrive with a great thunderclap from the heavens. Many times, they come quietly, like water flowing beneath the earth, nourishing life little by little. Perhaps today you do not yet see everything changing instantly, but I am working in ways your eyes cannot yet perceive. In the very moment when you think everything is closed, I am opening a new door that no one can shut. Therefore, do not let your heart remain bound by the past any longer. Old failures no longer have the right to define you. The words that wounded you are no longer the final voice over your life. I do not call you by the cracks of yesterday. I call you by the new identity I placed within you before the world was formed. You are loved, chosen, and kept in my hand. When you still doubt yourself, I still see the light I have sown within your soul. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. That word is not only for others, but for you today. I know there were times when you were so weary that you only wanted to give everything up. There were days when you prayed and felt as though heaven was closed. There were moments when you saw others moving faster than you, and your heart began to waver. But my beloved child, your journey does not need to look like anyone else's. I do not write the story of your life as a copy of another person's. What I have prepared for you bears a distinct mark, and my timing is always perfect. If I allow you to wait, it is because I am building a foundation strong enough so that the blessing will not cause you to collapse when it arrives. Even Joseph went through years of being misunderstood, betrayed, and forgotten in the darkness of prison. Yet the prison was not the end of his story. It was merely the hallway leading to the palace. In the darkest place, I was still quietly preparing him for a greater position. So it is with you. What you now call delay may simply be the preparation room for a tomorrow far more glorious than you have ever imagined. I have not forgotten the promise I made to you. What I have ordained will not be stolen away by darkness. No, I want you to learn how to rest in trust. Do not live with a mind constantly terrified that the good things in your life will slip away from your hands. What comes from me does not need to be held together by anxiety. Let your soul become soft again. Let gratitude bloom within even the smallest moments. When you wake in the morning, give thanks, because I am still with you. When you walk through trials, remember that my hand has never left your shoulder. And when night falls, do not sleep in fear, but sleep like a child resting peacefully in the arms of their father. I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. My beloved child, an old season is truly coming to an end. I am leading you across the border of despair and into the land of restoration. Not everything will become perfect overnight, but the light has already begun to rise on the horizon of your soul. The invisible chains that once held you captive are beginning to fall away. The doors that once remained shut are starting to move. There are prayers you may have forgotten long ago, but I have never forgotten them. I am gathering every broken piece within your heart to create something more beautiful than before. So, today, lift up your head. Keep walking with a more peaceful heart. Do not see yourself as one abandoned in the desert, but as one being led toward the promised land. I am turning your mourning into a new song. I am exchanging ashes for a crown of beauty upon your soul. And the day will come when you look back on every painful season and realize this truth: nothing is wasted in my hands. Everything has been drawing you closer to love, to healing, and to the beautiful future I prepared for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, let my words sink deeply into your soul like cool water flowing through land long parched by drought. There have been moments when you looked at your life and wondered why so many things that once seemed within your reach suddenly slipped away from you. There were doors that filled you with hope, only to quietly close before your eyes, leaving your heart disappointed and lost. But today, I want you to understand that my hand has never made a mistake in your journey. What I allow to happen always carries a purpose greater than what your eyes can presently see. A man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. You thought you had lost something important, but in truth, I was quietly leading you away from things that could have wounded your soul later on. I know there were times when you questioned whether your life was moving in the wrong direction. You looked at unexpected turns, unfinished dreams, and promises that seemed forever distant, and your heart grew weary. But my beloved child, my purposes do not change according to human emotions, nor are they shaken by temporary circumstances. What I have written for your life will stand firm like a mountain in the midst of the storm. For the Lord of hosts has purposed, and who can annul it? His hand is stretched out, and who can turn it back? When I decide to make a way for you, no darkness can stop it. And when I close a door, it is not to take joy away from you, but to protect the future I have prepared. Remember Balaam in the scriptures. He was hired to curse the people of Israel. Yet every time he opened his mouth, blessings flowed out instead of curses. For what I have ordained for my people cannot be reversed by anyone, even when people try to change it, even when circumstances appear to stand against it. My purposes remain forever secure. So it is with you. My beloved child, there may have been voices that made you believe you were not capable enough, not worthy enough, not strong enough to keep going. But the final word over your life does not belong to fear, nor to the judgments of others. The final word belongs to me, the one who created you in love and called you by name before you even knew yourself. So do not look at the things that closed in the past as failures anymore. There were relationships I did not allow to continue because I knew they would wear down your soul. There were opportunities I did not let you hold on to because they would not lead you into true peace. Just as a father sees his child wanting to step onto a dangerous path and holds them back with all his love, I too have stopped you many times, even when you did not understand it then. I do not delight in seeing your heart broken, but even more, I do not want you to lose yourself in things that do not belong to the destiny I have prepared for you. My beloved child, there are answers I do not explain immediately, because I want you to learn how to trust even when you do not yet understand everything. Faith does not grow when all things are clear. It matures in the seasons when you still hold my hand, though your eyes have not yet seen the light. Remember Jonah, when he tried to run from the path I had appointed. The sea rose up, and the storm covered the ship. Yet even in the belly of the great fish, I did not abandon him. I brought him back to the direction I had ordained from the beginning. So it is with you. Even though there were times when you lost your way, even though fear or weariness once pulled you far away, I have patiently led you back. For my love for you is greater than all the times you have been weak. I want you to stop looking at your life through eyes of regret over what has been lost. What I am preparing ahead is greater than the things you have had to release. If I take something from your hands, it is because I do not want you to keep clinging to something small and miss the better thing I am bringing. Do not keep weeping before the door that is closed, or you will not see the new door opening before you. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I am leading you into another season, a place where your soul is no longer bound by the past, but is free to walk in peace and certainty. Therefore today, let go of the doubt that has made your heart weary. Do not keep asking whether I am truly working or not. Even when you cannot yet see the whole picture, I am still arranging every detail of your life with perfect wisdom. There are things that now look like delay, but later you will look back and realize they were loving protection. There were times when you thought you had been left behind, but in truth, I was keeping you from stepping into something before its appointed time. My beloved child, rest your heart in this truth. No one can take from your hands what I have truly prepared for you. No word is stronger than my decree. No darkness is greater than the light I have placed upon your life. And no temporary failure can destroy the eternal plan I have written for your soul. For when I decide to lift you up, you will stand firm. When I decide to make a way, you will move forward. And when I decide to bless, your very life will become a living testimony that my love and my purpose are complete through every season. My beloved child, sit still before me and let your soul stop chasing the noise of worry. There are things I have been quietly doing in your life for a very long time, and only now are you beginning to understand their meaning. You once thought silence was a sign that I was distant, but in truth, it was within those quiet spaces that I was doing the deepest work in your soul. People often believe only in what their eyes can see, but I often sow the greatest things in hidden places before allowing them to bloom in the light. So do not look back on the seasons of waiting with regret anymore. Every day you have passed through carries the mark of my hand. I want you to understand that no step you have taken has ever been meaningless. Every time you fell and rose again, every night you wept in silence, every moment you believed you were completely alone, I have been gathering all of it together to form the path leading you to the place I ordained for you. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. Those words are not merely a beautiful comfort, they are the assurance that I have never abandoned the work I began in your life. You may not yet see the whole picture, but I see from the beginning to the end. And because I see all things fully, I know exactly what must happen in every season of your life. My beloved child, there are doors I have not yet opened, not because I have forgotten you, but because I am preparing you to enter them with a more mature soul. If I had given you everything the moment you asked, many things might have caused you to collapse instead of lifting you up. Just as a young tree cannot yet withstand a mighty wind, your soul also needed to be strengthened before stepping into a season of abundance. I allowed you to pass through times that felt like delay in order to teach you to cling to me rather than to circumstances. And now, as I see your faith growing stronger through trials, I am opening before you a new path filled with light. Remember David when he was still a young shepherd. I anointed him to be king long before he ever sat upon the throne. He had to pass through the wilderness, through days of being pursued, and through seasons that seemed forgotten. Yet it was in those lonely places that I taught him to depend on me, to use the small sling before carrying the great scepter. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are seasons in your life that seem filled only with waiting. But in truth, I am training your soul for something greater ahead. If today you know how to pray more deeply, how to become gentler with others, more humble in success, and stronger in suffering, it is because I am shaping you into the most beautiful version of who you were created to be. Therefore, do not be afraid when I close certain old paths. I never take anything away from you without a loving reason behind it. There were places where you longed to remain, but I knew that if you stayed there, your peace would slowly be drained away. There were things you tried to hold on to, but I knew they could not walk with you into the future. I prepared for you, just as a shepherd pulls a sheep away from the edge of a cliff, even when it does not understand the danger ahead. I too have stopped you many times in order to protect you from things your eyes could not yet see. My beloved child, now I want you to walk with a new mindset. Do not live like someone constantly afraid of losing what is good. Live as one who knows they are being led by a hand that never makes mistakes. When I say, it is enough, the chains of the old season begin to fall away. When I declare that it is time to move forward, no power of darkness can keep you trapped in pain any longer. Behold, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. What I open for you will not be hindered by human limitations. For I myself go before your life. I know there were times when you grew weary from waiting so long. There were prayers you repeated so many times that even you began to wonder whether I was still listening. But my child, I have never missed a single cry from your heart. My silence is not indifference. Often it is the season in which I am quietly arranging everything into its proper place. Like a potter, patiently shaping every detail upon the clay vessel, I am creating something beautiful in your life with both wisdom and love. If I answered too soon, you might not yet understand the value of what I was giving you. But when the appointed time arrives, you will realize that every waiting day carried a deeper meaning. Remember Joseph in the prison cell? Surely there were many times when he wondered why the promise seemed so distant. Yet even in the darkest place, I was preparing him for a position higher than anything he had imagined. And then one day, in a single moment, I lifted him from the prison into the palace. So it is with you. I can change the season of your life more quickly than you think. What matters is not whether you fully understand my plan, but whether you continue to keep your trust in me. Therefore today, let your soul rest in this assurance. Your future has not been abandoned to chance. I am holding every detail of your life in loving hands. Every trial you have endured was not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you for a greater light. And now, as I declare that a new season is opening before you, step forward with courage. Do not turn back to the old darkness anymore. Lift up your head and walk as one chosen to live in peace, in restoration, and in the blessings I prepared for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, do not fear the seasons of life that make you feel as though you are buried deep within darkness. When a seed lies beneath the soil, it does not know that above it the sunlight is already waiting. All it can feel is the narrowness, the silence, and the pressure of the earth surrounding it. Yet the very place that seems like burial is where life begins to move most powerfully. If the seed remained on the surface to avoid the darkness, it would never become a great tree. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are seasons I allow you to pass through, not to make you disappear in pain, but to awaken a new life within you that even you did not realize was there. I know there were times when you begged me to remove the pressure quickly. Yet many times what you call a burden is actually my hand drawing your soul into maturity. Tribulation produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character. Hope. I do not lead you through fire to destroy you. I lead you through it so that the false things may fall away, leaving behind the strongest and purest part within you. Just as gold must pass through fire to reveal its true value, your soul is also being refined through every season of testing, so that the light I placed within you may shine even more brightly. Look at Daniel in the lion's den. People believed it was his final sentence. Yet I turned the most dangerous place into the clearest display of my power. When the mouth of the den was sealed shut, many surely thought hope had been sealed away as well. But in that dark night, I sent my angel to shut the mouths of the lions. What seemed destined to destroy Daniel became proof that I had never abandoned the one who belonged to me. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are places where you now stand that make you feel surrounded by danger and helplessness. Yet, I am still there, even in the place that frightens you most. My hand is quietly protecting you from things you cannot yet see. Do not rush to conclude the meaning of your life while the journey is not yet complete. One dark night does not define the entire sky. One painful season does not determine your future. I am using the very things you once wished to avoid to build within you a foundation that cannot be shaken. For I know that a great blessing requires a soul strong enough to carry it. If I gave you everything too soon while your heart was still easily discouraged, that very blessing could become a pressure that would exhaust you. Therefore, I would rather prepare you longer than watch you collapse beneath the weight of what I desire to give you. My beloved child, every time you rise again after disappointment, your faith grows deeper roots in me. Every time you continue to love in the midst of hurt, your soul becomes more like mine. Every time you choose hope, though circumstances remain unchanged, heaven sees a beauty that the world could never create. Do not underestimate those silent victories. There are battles no one sees except me. Yet it is within those hidden places that I am creating a new person within you. Remember the 3 friends of Daniel in the blazing furnace. They were thrown into the fire to be destroyed. Yet the flames only burned away the chains that bound them. And in the midst of the fire, a 4th figure appeared, my very presence with them. When they stepped out of the furnace, their bodies did not even carry the smell of smoke. Do you see? There are fires in your life that do not come to destroy you, but to burn away the fears, the doubts, and the invisible chains holding your soul captive. After this season of refining, you will emerge stronger, freer, and brighter than before. I know there are times when you feel weary from having to be strong for so long. There are nights when you ask yourself when this season of testing will finally end. But hear me when I say this. I will never leave you to fight alone. Even when you cannot feel my presence, I am still standing beside you. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Those words were not spoken only for people in ancient times. They are spoken for you today. Therefore, do not look at trials as a sign that you have been abandoned anymore. See them instead as my hands shaping you for something greater. The tallest trees often endure the strongest winds because their roots must grow deeper into the earth. I am doing the same with you. I am drawing the roots of your soul deeper into peace, into faith, and into my unshakable love. And the time will come when what I have planted within you begins to bloom. My beloved child, do not fear the darkness of the present, for the dawn has already begun to form behind it. The tears you sow today will become tomorrow's harvest of joy. The pressures you now endure will become strength for the journey ahead. And one day soon, when you look back upon the road you have traveled, you will understand that no trial was meaningless. It was in the place of deepest pain that I quietly formed the strongest version of you. a soul no longer easily shaken, but one that knows how to stand firm in light, in faith, and in the blessings I prepared for you from the beginning. My beloved child, the day will come when you look back on the painful seasons you have endured and no longer ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, you will whisper in peace, "Now I understand." For there are truths that can only be seen clearly after the soul has passed through the fire of testing. Today, I want you to learn to see trials with different eyes, not as proof that I have moved far away, but as the quiet call announcing that a new door is slowly opening before you. After you have suffered a little while, God Himself will make you complete, firm, and strong. I have never used pain to destroy you. I have used it to lead you into depths you had never touched before. There are days when you feel pressure from every direction, as though the heavens themselves are weighing heavily upon your shoulders. But my child, it is precisely in those moments that I am drawing the roots of your soul deeper into my life. A great tree does not grow during days without wind. It is the storms that force its roots to cling more tightly to the earth, so that later it can bear wider branches. So it is with you. What you call pressure today is quietly preparing you for the weight of tomorrow's blessings. If I did not first strengthen your soul, you might not be able to hold what I am about to place into your hands. Remember Elijah when he fled into the wilderness because of weariness and fear. He thought he had failed, as though all hope had run dry. He lay down beneath the broom tree and wished to give up everything. Yet it was in that place of deepest weakness that I sent an angel to strengthen him with bread and water. I did not rebuke his exhaustion. I cared for his soul before continuing the journey. My beloved child, I am doing the same for you. I see the weariness you try to hide behind your smiles. I know there are times when you remain strong only because you feel you have no other choice. But hear me now. You do not need to force yourself to carry everything forever. I am restoring your soul for the new path ahead. Do not fear the days when darkness surrounds you, for dawn often comes closest when the night is deepest. There are seasons in which I allow you to walk through silence, so that you may learn to recognize my voice among invisible things. If everything were easy, you might love only the blessing and forget the one who gives it. But through trials, you learn to seek me more than the things you desire, and that is where your faith truly becomes alive. My beloved child, do not keep your head bowed toward the things that frighten you. Lift your eyes higher than your circumstances. When Peter walked upon the water, he remained standing as long as his eyes stayed fixed on me. It was only when he looked at the waves and the storm that fear caused him to sink. So it is with you. If you look only at the pressure around you, you will feel small. But when you look at me, you will remember that the one holding you is greater than every storm you face. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. My help comes from the Lord. Let those words become a new breath for your soul in these days. I know there are times when you feel as though you have been pushed to the very end of the road. But often, the place where human escape seems impossible is the very place where my power begins to move most strongly. Remember the people of Israel standing before the Red Sea. The deep waters were in front of them, and the enemy was pursuing them from behind. Everything seemed to be over. Yet, in that very moment, I opened a path through the heart of the sea. What looked like the end became the beginning of deliverance. So it is with you, my beloved child. I can turn the place you call a dead end into a doorway leading into a new season. Do not let pressure make you forget that you are being prepared for something greater. Diamonds are not formed in places of comfort. The most precious things are often created under the greatest pressure. And I am using every collision of life to awaken the strength within you. There are abilities, gifts, and spiritual depths within you that would never appear if you had never passed through trials. Therefore, instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" begin to ask, "What are you trying to teach me through this season?" My beloved child, the season of waiting will not last forever. I am leading you to a place where your heart will know joy again. There will be a day when peace is no longer just a passing moment, but becomes a deep foundation within you. There will be a day when you see prayers that seemed silent begin to bloom before your eyes. And then, you will understand that every trial was only a bridge, bringing you closer to the destiny I prepared. So today, rise with a new mindset. Do not walk as one forgotten, but as one being prepared for a great unveiling. Do not let the darkness you have just passed through make you forget that light is waiting ahead. I am leading you into another season, a season where old tears begin to become testimony, where wounds are turned into strength, and where your soul no longer trembles before storms, because you have learned that even in the fiercest tempest, my hand always holds you and never lets go. My beloved child, I know there are nights when you lie still while your heart remains filled with questions you cannot put into words. You wonder why. When you try to draw closer to me, the pressures around you seem to increase. At times, it feels as though the moment you pass through one trial, another one appears. But today, I want you to understand a deep mystery. Often the strongest opposition appears right before the greatest breakthrough. The one who sows darkness always fears a soul awakening in the light. And because you are moving closer to what I have ordained for you, the opposing winds have become fiercer than before. But do not let that frighten you. A lamp is not noticed while it remains far away. But when it begins to shine in the darkness, every eye turns toward it. The light I have placed within you is the same. It cannot be extinguished by pressure, by human words, or by the difficult seasons you are passing through. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Write those words upon your heart. Darkness may roar around you, but it has no authority to decide your future. What I have ordained will stand firm through every storm. Therefore, today, do not give up. Do not let a few difficult days cause you to draw the wrong conclusion about the whole journey. One storm cannot erase the destiny I have written for your life. I am still making a way, even when your eyes cannot yet see it clearly. I am still working, even when many things remain silent for now. And the time will come when you stand in the place I promised. Look back on the difficult road behind you and realize that the very pressures that once made you want to collapse became the wings that lifted you closer to the blessing, the restoration, and the glory I prepared for your soul from the very beginning. My beloved child, lift up your head and let your soul feel the warmth of a new day opening over your life. The long night will no longer keep you waiting forever. I know there were times when you walked like someone feeling their way through the fog, not knowing when the light would appear. At times, you wondered whether your silent prayers had truly reached me. But today, I want you to know that I have heard even your smallest sigh. Not one tear has fallen without being held in my hand. Not one sincere desire within your heart has gone unknown to me. And now, the moment of transition is drawing near, like dawn, spreading gradually across the earth after a long and silent night. My beloved child, delay has never been a sign that I have forgotten you. Many times, what you call delay is the very season in which I am quietly building a firm foundation for something greater. A seed cannot sprout if the soil has not been prepared. In the same way, your soul needed to become softer, deeper, and more mature before stepping into a season of abundance. If I gave you everything too soon, you might receive what you wanted but still lack the strength to keep your inner peace. Therefore, I use the seasons of waiting to teach you trust, patience, and how to take refuge in my love instead of only seeking the visible result before you. Be still and know that I am God. It was in that stillness that I was doing what your eyes had never seen. Remember Hannah in the scriptures. For many years, she prayed with tears because of the pain of barrenness. Others may have seen that delay as a sign of disappointment. but I was preparing a gift with a meaning far greater than she could have imagined. Then, at the appointed time, Samuel was born not only as the answer to a mother's prayer, but as a prophet. I used to change an entire generation. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are things I am preparing for you, not only to fill your heart, but also so that your life may become a source of blessing for many others. Therefore, your seasons of waiting have never been meaningless. I want you to stop looking at the past with a heavy gaze. Do not think that opportunities that have not yet arrived, doors that once closed, or plans that were delayed are signs that your life has been forgotten. No, my beloved child, I am reconnecting the streams of grace at the most beautiful time. Just as a river cannot be full before the rainy season, your blessing is also coming according to the rhythm I have appointed. Not too early to wound you, not too late to leave you in despair. Everything in my hands moves with perfect wisdom. There have been days when your heart felt exhausted from waiting for so long. But now, I am bringing you a renewal from within. I do not only desire to give you what you have been praying for, I also want to heal the way you look toward the future. I want you to enter this new season not with a mind filled with fear of losing what is good, but with the peace of one who knows they are being led by my hand. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. I am renewing your soul day by day, so that when the blessing arrives, you will not only rejoice over what you have received, but also give thanks, because through the journey you have become stronger, deeper, and more whole. My beloved child, dawn does not arrive with loud noise. It comes gently yet surely, each ray of light slipping through the darkness until the entire sky bursts forth in brilliance. My work in your life is the same. Perhaps today you can see only a few small rays of light, but do not underestimate them. They are the sign that the night has already begun to retreat. The things that were once held back are now being released. The prayers that once seemed silent are beginning to sprout in the unseen realm. And the time will come when you will see everything connect together with a wonder that only I can accomplish. Remember the people of Israel as they walked around the walls of Jericho. For many days, it seemed as though nothing was changing. The walls still stood there, strong and silent. But at the exact moment I had appointed, one great shout arose, and the walls came crashing down. So it is with you. Perhaps you have walked in faith for a long time without seeing any clear movement, but do not believe that nothing is happening. In the unseen realm, I am softening the things that once appeared impossible to change. And when the appointed moment comes, what once stood against you will fall more quickly than you ever imagined. Therefore, today, open your heart wide to receive this new season. Do not continue living like someone still imprisoned within the old darkness. Walk as one who knows the light has already begun to touch their journey. I am placing a new mark upon your life, the mark of restoration, of peace, and of grace flowing without end. What you once learned through tears will now become strength for tomorrow. The silent seasons of the past will become testimony that I never abandoned you, not even for a single moment. My beloved child, the long season of waiting was never meaningless. It has made your heart deeper, your faith stronger, and your hope more steadfast. And now, as you open yourself to receive what I am giving, you will begin to see the river of life flowing through the places within your soul that once felt dry and barren. Peace will replace anxiety. Hope will replace weariness. And you will realize that everything I have done, whether in silence or in the light, has always flowed from my perfect love for you. My beloved child, stop forcing your soul to run faster than the rhythm I have appointed. There are times when you look at the clock of the world and think that everything is moving too slowly. But I want you to understand that my timing is never late, nor is it ever rushed. It moves like a deep river, gentle yet certain, quiet yet full of power. When my appointed time arrives, everything will naturally connect together without you needing to strain yourself to hold it all in place. The doors that once seemed closed will open at the right moment. The paths that once appeared tangled will gradually become clear, and your soul will encounter a peace you have never known before. I am arranging many things behind what your eyes can see. There are encounters that seem accidental, yet in truth, I appointed them beforehand. There are ideas I plant within your heart at exactly the needed time. There are words of encouragement, opportunities, and helping hands that appear not by chance, but as the result of a quiet preparation that began long ago. All things work together for good for those who love God. Even the things you do not understand today are being woven by me into part of a greater picture. You have only seen a few scattered pieces, but I have already seen the whole picture from beginning to end. My beloved child, I know there were times when you tried by your own strength to open doors whose time had not yet come. That only made your heart more weary. But when I make a way, you will not need to live in panic or striving. What belongs to you will come to you through peace, not through fear. Just as the sea does not need to struggle for the tide to rise at its appointed hour, what I have ordained for you will also come according to the rhythm I have set. And then, your soul will understand that everything has been guided by my perfect wisdom. Remember Esther. In human eyes, she was only an ordinary Jewish girl in the midst of a vast empire, but I was quietly arranging every detail from the time she was brought into the palace, to the favor she found before the king, to the moment she rose up to save her people. Nothing happened by accident. Even the nights that seemed meaningless were part of my plan. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are seasons of your life you do not yet understand, but the time will come when every piece connects, and you will realize that I led you to the right place, at the right time, to the right people. With loving precision, I want you to learn to move according to the rhythm of my peace instead of the hurried rhythm of fear. Do not let your heart be stretched thin by the feeling that you must control everything by yourself. There are doors that will only open when you stop trying to force them with anxious hands. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Waiting does not mean being forgotten. It is the trust that the one who leads the way sees far more than you can see. My beloved child, I can change everything in a single moment. One word from me is enough to calm the storm within your heart. One touch from me can revive the hope you thought had died long ago. I am not limited by time, by distance, or by what the world calls impossible. When I decide to make a way, the things that once seemed blocked can begin to move faster than you imagined. Remember Peter in prison. Chains held his feet, guards stood around him, and every door was shut. But in one night, my angel appeared. The chains fell away, and the doors opened by themselves. What people call impossible, I make simple by my power. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are dreams within you that seem to have been asleep for too long. There are places in your heart so tired that they no longer dare to hope. But I am breathing new life into them. I am placing back into your hands the keys of opportunity, restoration, and joy. And when the appointed time comes, you will not need to chase after blessing. The blessing itself will find you in the way I have ordained. I know there are times when you fear that you may miss out on something good, but what I have prepared for you cannot be stolen away by delay or by old mistakes. If I have written it into your life, it will find its way to you. What you need is not panic, but a heart that remains open to my guidance. Let me teach you how to walk in the rhythm of peace, a place where you no longer live by anxiety, but by the confidence that everything is being arranged perfectly. My beloved child, There will be moments when you suddenly realize that what once felt impossibly difficult has become light and effortless. The right conversations will appear at the right time. Opportunities you once thought beyond your reach will open before your eyes. Walls that once blocked your path will begin to move, and deep within your soul, you will know this is not coincidence. This is my hand at work. So today, take a deep breath and rest in my love. Do not try to run ahead of me, and do not fear being left behind. Walk step by step with gentle trust. Your dawn is no longer far away. The rivers of grace are already beginning to flow toward your life. And when everything I have prepared begins to unfold together, you will understand that every season of waiting before this was simply my way of preserving you for the most beautiful moment, the moment when light, opportunity, healing, and blessing converge in the perfect rhythm I myself have ordained. My beloved child, when I open before you a new season of abundance, the first thing I desire is not for your hands to grasp as much as possible, but for your heart to remain open in gratitude and peace. There are blessings that can remain only within a soul that knows how to treasure small things. If your heart is always restless, hurried, and focused only on what is still missing, you may overlook the gentle miracles I quietly place along your path. But when you learn to give thanks, even in simple things, your eyes will begin to see grace everywhere. In everything, give thanks. This is not merely a teaching meant to make you polite toward me. It is the key that opens your soul wider to receive the flow of peace and blessing. I do not always come through thunderous signs or changes that shake the entire world. Many times, I enter your life through quiet things that only a peaceful heart can recognize. An unexpected meeting, a word of encouragement at the perfect time, a small door opening after many days of being closed, a sense of peace remaining within you even while circumstances are not yet fully changed. My beloved child, this is often how I work. The voice of the Lord was not in the mighty wind, nor in the earthquake or the fire, but in the still small voice. Therefore, do not seek only the overwhelming and dramatic things. Learn to recognize me in the gentle movements of each day. I want you to understand that every small act of obedience carries eternal value. When you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness, you open a door for light to enter your heart. When you choose to remain faithful even without seeing results, you are building a bridge between the present and the future I have prepared. When you choose peace instead of panic, you are telling heaven that your trust rests more in me than in circumstances. Do not underestimate those small decisions. Many great miracles begin with one quiet act of obedience. Remember the young boy who brought 5 loaves and 2 fish to me among the great crowd. In the eyes of others, what he had was far too small to make any difference. But when he willingly placed what he had into my hands, the miracle began. The bread was broken, the fish were distributed, and thousands were fed. So it is with you, my beloved child. I do not require you to have everything perfect before stepping into my plan. What I seek is a willing heart. When you place into my hands what you already have, no matter how small it may seem, I can multiply it beyond your imagination. My beloved child, stop calling yourself by the old names of hurt, failure, or lack. I do not see you through the seasons in which you fell. I call you one who belongs to the light, a soul deeply loved and created to bring peace into the world around you. You are the light of the world. That light does not come from your own strength, but from my presence growing within you. And when you begin to see yourself through my eyes, you will stop living in shame and begin walking in a new freedom. I also want you to understand that the blessings I give are not merely to make your life comfortable for a moment. I desire for your life to become fertile ground where goodness continues to spread outward. What I place into your hands, talents, opportunities, Wisdom. Meaningful relationships is not meant only for you to keep for yourself. I want you to become a river, not a stagnant poem. When you learn to share, to uplift, to sow love and hope into the lives of others, the current of blessing will flow even more strongly through your own life. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Look at the poor widow in the temple. She offered only 2 small coins. Yet I said she had given more than everyone else because she gave with all her heart. Do you see? Value in my eyes is not measured by the amount you possess, but by the love and sincerity with which you give. There are seeds of love you plant today that may seem very small, yet in the time I appoint, they will bloom into fields overflowing with blessing. My beloved child, as you step into this new season, I will give you fresh ideas, timely guidance, and people who will walk beside you on the journey ahead. There are doors that once seemed tightly shut that will now begin to open. There are opportunities once far beyond your reach that will draw near. But remember this, what allows a blessing to remain is not the hurried grasping of fearful hands, but the wisdom and humility with which you steward what I place in your care. I want you to live as a faithful steward of grace. Receive with gratitude, use with wisdom, and sow with generosity. For every good seed you plant will never be lost. I see every word of encouragement you give to the discouraged, every act of kindness offered in secret, every moment you help without demanding anything in return. And I will cause those seeds to meet the right season, the right rain, and the right wind, so that they may bear abundant fruit. Therefore today, keep your heart soft and open. Do not enter this season of blessing with trembling hands, but with the peace of one who knows they are being led by their Father. I am teaching you not only to receive, but to become a source of life for many others. And then you will see that when your soul is filled with gratitude, when your heart remains gentle and willing to obey, blessing will not merely pass through your life like a fleeting rainstorm, but will remain like a river of life, quietly nourishing everything around you with love, peace, and light that never runs dry. My beloved child, draw closer to me in this moment and let your heart rest from the waves of emotion rising and falling within you. I know there are days when you feel strong, filled with hope and peace, but there are also days when even a small worry can shake your heart. This is natural for the human soul. Emotions are like clouds in the sky, sometimes bright and clear, sometimes covering the sunlight completely. But I do not want you to build your life upon things that are always changing. I want you to learn how to stand upon the solid rock of faith, where you can continue walking, even when the skies have not yet fully cleared. My beloved child, faith is not pretending that fear no longer exists. Faith is when you still hold my hand, even while your heart trembles. The righteous shall live by faith. That means you do not allow temporary emotions to determine the direction of your life. Perhaps today you feel weary, but I am still with you. Perhaps today you have not yet seen the door fully open, but what I promised is still drawing near. If you walk only when every feeling is pleasant, you may stop halfway through the journey. But when you learn to walk by faith, your soul will become steady like a tree planted beside the waters, whose leaves do not wither even through seasons of drought. I want to teach you a new rhythm of life, the rhythm of peace. The world often lives according to anxiety, hurry, and unrest. But I am calling you to walk according to my gentle rhythm. When you keep your heart closer to my word than to your fears, you will begin to hear my guidance more clearly. There are paths I do not reveal through loud signs, but through the quiet peace that remains within your heart. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. Therefore, do not seek only outward signs. Learn to listen to the calmness I place within your soul when you are walking in the right direction. Remember Peter upon the water. As long as his eyes remained fixed on me, he walked upon what others believed was impossible. But when he began looking at the waves and the storm, fear caused him to sink. So it is with you, my beloved child. If you focus only on emotions that constantly change, anxiety and doubt will easily pull you downward. But if your eyes remain fixed on me, you will discover that you can walk through the very things that once terrified you. I do not condemn you for the moments when your heart grows weak. I only want you to remember that even when you begin to sink, my hand is always reaching out to hold you. My beloved child, the key I place in your hands is not your own strength or perfection. That key is trust. Every time you choose to believe my word more than the voice of fear, the door opens a little wider. Every time you continue praying, though you have not yet seen the answer, you are turning that key deeper into the lock of your destiny. And then the time will come when what once seemed sealed shut suddenly opens so gently that even you will stand amazed. Not because you struggled hard enough, but because your heart learned to move in harmony with mine. I do not want you to deny your emotions. I know there are days when you feel sorrowful, confused, or painfully small before the future. But do not allow emotions to become the guide of your life. Let them rest beneath the light of faith. Just as the surface of the sea may be stormy, while the deep waters below remain calm, I also desire to create within you a depth of peace that circumstances cannot easily disturb. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds. That peace does not depend on whether everything around you has already become perfect. It comes from knowing that I am still holding your life securely in my hands. Remember Mary when the angel announced that she would give birth to the Savior. Everything sounded beyond understanding and filled with risk. Yet instead of allowing fear to rule her heart, she answered, "Let it be unto me according to your word." That gentle surrender opened the way for a great miracle to enter the world. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are things I am preparing for you that will surpass anything you have imagined. And what I need from you is not complete understanding of every detail, but a heart peaceful enough to say, "I trust you." My beloved child, the more you keep your heart soft and quiet, the more clearly you will recognize my grace surrounding you. There are blessings already very near, yet a mind filled with fear keeps you from seeing them. There are doors already beginning to open, yet the noise of anxiety prevents you from hearing the invitation. Therefore today, I am teaching you to slow down within my presence. Breathe more deeply. Pray more peacefully. Stop trying to control everything through your own strength. I do not ask you to carry the whole future upon your shoulders. I only ask you to hold my hand and walk one step at a time. Then you will discover something wonderful. What you have been seeking is no longer far away. The streams of grace have already been moving around you for a long time. The door of light already stands before you. And every time you choose to stand firm in faith, instead of being swept away by temporary emotions, you are moving closer to the season of outpouring I have prepared. Therefore, keep your heart in peace. My beloved child, let faith become the ground beneath your feet, and within that holy stillness, you will see me gently opening before your life things more beautiful than anything you have ever asked for or imagined. My beloved child, I want to teach you a very simple secret that can redirect the course of your entire life. Do not let emotions lead your steps. Let faith take your hand and guide you onward. Emotions are like the wind upon the sea, some days calm, some days violent with waves. If you build your life upon those waves, your heart will constantly be shaken by circumstances. But when you learn to anchor your soul in my word, you will remain steady, even on days when your mind feels troubled. You will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on you. That peace does not come because everything around you has become perfect. It comes because you know the one holding your life is eternally faithful. Therefore, Whenever heavy emotions begin to rise within you, I want you to learn to pause for a moment before reacting. Just one moment, one deep breath, one glance lifted toward me, one gentle reminder whispered within your heart, "He is still good, my beloved child." That small moment can change the entire direction of your day. For between the wave of emotion and your response, there is always a small doorway called choice. And when you choose to trust me instead of trusting fear, you open that doorway for light to enter. I do not require you to do extraordinary things in order to enter a season of blessing. Many miracles begin through simple acts filled with obedience. A gentle word instead of anger, a thankful thought instead of complaint, a quiet act of kindness unseen by others. These small things may seem insignificant in the eyes of the world, but in the spiritual realm, they are seeds being planted into the soil of your future. And in the appointed season, they will grow into something far more beautiful than you can imagine. Remember Naaman, the mighty commander afflicted with leprosy. He was searching for a grand and dramatic miracle. Yet what I asked of him was very simple. Go down to the Jordan River and wash 7 times. At first, he was disappointed because the instructions seemed too ordinary, but when he humbled himself and obeyed, healing came. So it is with you, my beloved child. Do not underestimate the small steps I am guiding you to take each day. There are great doors that open through very quiet acts of faith. I want you to learn to use your words like someone sowing seeds into good soil. Every word you speak carries weight within your soul. Therefore, instead of allowing your lips to repeat only fear and worry, learn to speak words that align with the light I am placing before you. When you whisper, "I am still leading you," your heart will gradually rediscover peace. When you say, "The right door will open," your mind will stop panicking over closed doors. And when you declare, "I have not abandoned you," your soul will stop feeling alone in the midst of trials. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Therefore, let your words become streams of water that nourish the garden within you, instead of thorns that leave it dry and barren. My beloved child, I do not require beautiful and elaborate prayers. What I seek is deep sincerity. Sometimes, one short sentence filled with faith opens more than 1,000 empty words ever could. When Peter began to sink upon the water, he did not recite a long prayer. He simply cried out, "Lord, save me." And immediately, my hand reached down and lifted him up. Do you see? I hear even the quietest whispers of your heart. I understand the things you cannot yet put into words. And I always respond to a heart that sincerely seeks me. Imagine your soul as a garden I am tending every day. Faith is the hidden stream, nourishing the roots deep beneath the soil. Emotions are like flowers that change with the weather. Some days they bloom brightly. Other days they bow beneath the rain and wind. But if the stream of faith continues flowing, the garden will not die. Therefore, care for your inner life through small things filled with life. A word of gratitude in the morning. A few quiet moments to listen for my voice. A smile when you remember the grace I have shown you. A blessing spoken over another person, even while you yourself feel weary. These things are like gentle sunlight helping the garden of your soul continue to bloom. I know there are times when you believe you need a dramatic change before you can enter a new season. But often, what I desire to do begins through very gentle things. A thought turning in a new direction. A heart willing to open again. A small but faithful decision repeated day after day. Just as soft water can gradually smooth even the hardest stone over time, your small choices filled with faith are also quietly reshaping your future. My beloved child, when you keep your heart within that peace, you will begin to notice the subtle movements of grace around you. New opportunities will appear more gently. Timely encounters will begin to feel natural. Things that once confused you will slowly become clearer. Not because the world has suddenly become perfect, but because your inner life has come into harmony with my guidance. And when your soul walks in step with that rhythm of love, the doors of blessing will open not through striving, but through the deep alignment between your faith and the goodwill of heaven. Therefore today, slow down within grace. Do not rush after every passing emotion. Let faith become the ground beneath your feet. Let gratitude become the breath of your daily life. And remember that every time you gently say, "I trust you," even in silence, heaven hears it, and doors of light begin opening before you in ways more beautiful than you have ever imagined. My beloved child, I want you to begin each day not with the hurry of anxiety, but with a peaceful breath within my presence. When the first light of morning touches your window, let your soul whisper a simple yet living declaration. Today, I trust that you are leading me. Do not underestimate those small words. Just as a seed resting quietly in the soil carries within itself an entire future forest, a single declaration filled with faith can redirect the course of your whole day. And when night falls, before you close your eyes, place everything that has happened into my hands with one simple thank you. It is this simple rhythm of life that will keep your heart soft and clear within a world full of unrest and change. I know there are days when your emotions feel like a sea filled with waves. At times you rejoice, and at other times your heart sinks because of even the smallest things. But I'm teaching you to live deeper than your emotions. Not so that you become cold or without feeling, but so that you are no longer carried away by every passing wind within your mind. An anxious heart weighs a person down, but a good word brings joy. When you allow my word to become greater than your fears, your soul will gradually rediscover its balance. And then you will see that faith does not take away the beauty of your emotions. It heals them and makes them gentler beneath my light. My beloved child, when your heart becomes quiet in faith, your eyes will begin to notice the signs of grace that you once overlooked. A meeting that seems accidental, yet brings exactly the words you needed to hear. A door opening at the very moment you thought you had reached the end of the road. A delay that later reveals itself as protection from a path that was not meant for you. I am still writing my love across the ordinary pages of your life. But only a peaceful heart can read that handwriting. Remember the servant of Elisha when the enemy surrounded the city. He was terrified because all he could see was danger before him. But Elisha prayed, "Lord, open his eyes so that he may see." And suddenly the servant saw the mountains filled with heavenly horses and chariots of fire surrounding them. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are days when you see only what is imperfect, and your heart becomes troubled. But if I open the eyes of your soul, you will realize that my grace surrounds you far more than you know. What I am arranging for you is far greater than the fears trying to make you lose heart. I want you to learn how to look at life through the eyes of trust. When one door closes, instead of believing you have been forgotten, ask me where I am leading you. When a plan changes, do not rush into despair. Many times that very change is my hand redirecting you towards something better. There are appointments postponed so that you may meet the right person at the right time. There are unexpected turns that lead you into lands more peaceful than you could have imagined. A person plans their course, but the Lord directs their steps. Therefore, do not look only at what is happening. Learn to search for my meaning within each moment. My beloved child, I delight in seeing you mature in love. In the past, even a small change could trouble your heart for a long time. But now you are learning how to smile, even in uncertainty, because you know the one leading you never loses his way. This is the beauty of a soul beginning to grow in faith, not because life no longer holds trials, but because you have learned how to keep your peace in the midst of movement and change. I want you to understand that blessing is not only the sudden arrival of great things. Many times, blessing is the presence of peace within your heart on an ordinary day. It is the people I place beside you to love and support you. It is the ability to keep hoping after disappointment. It is a clear mind while the world around you feels chaotic. When you begin to look through eyes of gratitude, you will realize that your life already carries countless footprints of grace. Remember Ruth. She thought she was only gathering leftover grain in order to survive another day. Yet I was quietly guiding her steps into the field of Boaz, the very place that would change her entire future. What seemed ordinary was actually my miraculous guidance. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are small details in your life today that carry within them the seeds of something much greater ahead. Do not underestimate ordinary days, for I often hide my most beautiful miracles within the simplest moments of life. My beloved child, the more you choose to trust, the more clearly you will recognize my hand in every arrangement surrounding your life. What once seemed chaotic will gradually become clearer. The things that once confused you will begin to connect together like pieces of a greater picture. And then you will understand that not one tear was ever wasted. Not one turn in the road was accidental. I have been quietly weaving all things together with a love and wisdom far beyond human understanding. Therefore, today, continue walking in that simple rhythm of life. Let your mornings begin with faith. Let your evenings close with gratitude. And throughout the day, keep your heart soft before my guidance. Then you will witness something beautiful. Not only will the doors ahead begin to open, but the path beneath your feet will also grow brighter step by step. This is the gentle reward for those who choose faith as their key, a life no longer dragged along by anxiety, but led forward in peace, in light, and in my loving presence each day. My beloved child, I want you to know that there is not a single moment of your day that falls outside my tender gaze. From the time you open your eyes in the morning until the moment you lay your head down in the stillness of night, I am quietly walking beside you, arranging every small detail with wisdom beyond human understanding. Your life is not a random sequence of meaningless days. I am weaving each day together like a skilled craftsman, creating a precious tapestry, some threads bright with joy, others shaded with quietness and waiting, yet all of them joining together into a beautiful masterpiece that you cannot yet fully see. There are times when you can see only the small stretch of road before you and wonder why things are unfolding the way they are. But I have seen the entire path from beginning to end. When you think you are taking only a small step, I already see the door that step will lead you to in the future. Therefore, do not underestimate the ordinary decisions you make each day. A gentle word instead of anger, a moment of patience instead of rushing, a message sent with kindness, a word of thanks spoken even while your heart feels weary. None of these things are meaningless before me. They are like quiet seeds being planted, which in the right season will bloom into fruits of peace and grace. Blessed is the one who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, but delights in the law of the Lord. That person shall be like a tree planted by streams of water. My beloved child, I am teaching you to live like that tree, not carried away by every emotional wind, but rooted deeply in my presence. When your heart remains soft and peaceful, you will begin to recognize the gentle signals I send each day. I do not always speak through mighty signs that shake the heavens and the earth. Many times, I guide you through a quiet stillness within your soul, through a clear thought in the middle of confusion, through a lasting peace, even while circumstances remain unchanged. Remember the prophet Samuel when he was still a child in the temple. At first, he did not recognize my voice because he thought it was merely an ordinary call in the night. But when his heart learned how to listen, he began to recognize my gentle voice in the silence. So it is with you, my beloved child. I am teaching you to recognize my voice not only in great miracles, but also in everyday life. Sometimes I guide you through a small delay to protect you from something not yet meant for you. Sometimes I allow a meeting to unfold naturally, yet it carries the very answer you have long been searching for. And sometimes a simple word of encouragement from another person is actually the comfort I am sending to your soul. Do not think that only great and dramatic things are signs that I am at work. I delight in moving through small details filled with love. A door closing at the right moment to keep you from the wrong path. An appointment changing so you can meet the right person. A quiet thought urging you to pause and pray before making a decision. These are not accidents. They are my hand gently adjusting your steps so they align with the destiny I have prepared for you. My beloved child, the closer you walk with me, the more you will realize that peace is the language I often use to guide you. The world pushes through panic and urgency, but I lead through gentle steadiness. You will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." That voice does not fill you with fear, it brings clarity and calmness. Therefore, when you stand before a decision, pay attention to the place where your heart finds lasting peace, not merely temporary excitement. For where my deep peace remains, there my hand is often making a way. I also want you to learn how to remember the footprints of grace in your life. Hold close the small moments when you recognize that I was near, an unexpected answer to prayer. A difficult day suddenly becoming lighter in a way you did not expect. A spark of hope appearing at the exact moment you wanted to give up. Those memories will become lamps for the days when your heart feels shaken. When you look back, you will clearly see one truth. I have never abandoned you in any season. Remember Elijah when he hid in the cave because of weariness and fear. I did not come to him through the mighty wind or the earthquake, but through a still small voice. And it was within that quietness that he found his direction again. So it is with you, my beloved child. Some of the answers you seek will not come through the noise of anxiety, but only when your heart becomes still enough to hear me. Therefore today, walk gently within my guidance. Do not force yourself to understand everything immediately. Do not panic when certain plans change. I am still weaving every thread of your life with perfect love. And the time will come when you look back and realize that even the turns that once seemed meaningless were leading you exactly where I wanted you to be. My beloved child, continue to keep your heart gentle and thankful. Let every small decision be bathed in the light of my love, for it is that chain of gentle choices that will lead you into your season of blessing in a quiet yet certain way. And when you walk long enough in that rhythm of peace, you will see the path ahead gradually brighten, not through the hurried striving of the world, but through the steady light that comes from my hand, faithfully guiding your life day by day. My beloved child, there will be days when you look at your journey and do not understand why everything suddenly changed direction. A plan that once felt stable unexpectedly shifts. A door you thought was about to open quietly closes before your eyes. A road you imagined walking forever suddenly reveals another turn. But today, I want you to understand that not every redirection is a loss. Some turns are my hand quietly pulling you away from something that does not yet belong to your appointed time. If you look through the eyes of faith, you will realize that many things you once called delay were actually loving protection. I never allow your life to drift into chaos outside of my hands. Even the smallest changes in ordinary days can become part of the greater plan I am weaving together. A delayed meeting may lead you to encounter the exact person you needed to meet. A closed door may help you notice a brighter path beside it that you had never seen before. A person plans their way, but the Lord directs their steps. Therefore, when something does not happen according to your expectations, do not immediately call it bad. Pause for a moment and ask me, Father, where are you leading me through this redirection? My beloved child, I know that the human heart often fears seasons of waiting, when everything seems to slow down, it is easy for you to feel forgotten, but I want you to see those pauses as the necessary rests within a beautiful piece of music. If a melody were made only of constant sound without moments of stillness, it would lose its depth and gentle beauty. So it is with your life. There are seasons when I allow you to slow down, not to disappoint you, but to prepare the next movement to rise at the perfect time. In the very moments that seem still and unmoving, I am healing what you cannot yet see, expanding your vision, and completing the final details for something far better ahead. Remember Joseph, if he had never been sold into Egypt, never thrown into prison, he would never have stood in the position of saving an entire nation from famine. Every painful turn became a step, drawing him closer to the purpose I had prepared. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are turns in your journey today that confuse you. But one day, when you look back, you will realize that my hand was quietly leading you away from limitation and into something far greater. I am fitting together people, timing, and opportunities in your life with the precision of love. There are people I bring near to strengthen your soul, to remind you who you are when you have forgotten your own worth. There are encounters that seem ordinary yet carry the key to opening a new door. And there are also people I gently remove from your journey, not to leave you lonely, but to create space for healthier and more life-giving connections to enter your life. My beloved child, pay attention to the people who bring peace to your soul, not merely those who stir your emotions. Peace is one of the clearest marks of my guidance. When you are near the right people and in the places I desire for you, your soul will sense clarity and lightness, even if the full road ahead has not yet appeared. The wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle. I do not lead you through constant confusion and pressure. I lead you through steady peace. I know there are times when you try to hold on to a door that is already meant to close because you fear loss. But my beloved child, if I close a door with peace, do not stand before it forever in tears. I never take anything away from you without preparing something better ahead. Just as a shepherd leads the flock away from a field that has run dry toward a place where fresh water flows, I am also leading you through my gentle wisdom. Remember Abraham when I called him to leave his homeland. He did not know clearly where he was going. Yet he still walked in trust. And because he dared to follow that call, a future far greater opened before him. So it is with you. There are things I have not fully explained to you right now. But if you keep a grateful heart and continue walking with me, you will discover that every redirection is leading you closer to the good destiny I have prepared. My beloved child, the more you learn to surrender, the lighter your heart will become. You do not need to control every detail by yourself in order for the future to be peaceful. I have already gone before you. I see what your eyes cannot yet see, and I am weaving a hidden network of love to uphold you day by day. There will be hands that appear at the right time to help you stand again. There will be opportunities that arrive exactly when you need them. There will be doors that open so gently that you will know this was not by your own strength, but by grace at work. Therefore today, walk more slowly and trust. Do not panic over small changes along the journey. Do not see seasons of waiting as rejection. Let your heart remain soft before my subtle movements. Then you will witness something beautiful. The turns that once confused you will be filled with light. The doors that once closed will reveal themselves as protection. And every step you take, no matter how winding the path may seem, will still be guided toward the place of peace I prepared for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, I want you to understand that the deepest growth of the soul does not always come from great moments that shake your entire life. More often, it is formed through the very small things you do each day. A word you choose to speak with gentleness instead of anger. A moment when you remain silent to listen instead of reacting quickly. A slow breath when your heart is troubled. a short prayer whispered in the middle of busyness. It is within these seemingly small things that I am shaping your heart into a place where my peace can dwell for a long time. I am teaching you a holy rhythm of life that the world rarely understands, learning to pause before moving forward. People often act too quickly because they fear losing an opportunity, falling behind others, or missing something good. But I want you to learn the holy pause, that small space of stillness where you turn inward and ask your heart, is my peace still here? If peace gently remains, you can move forward with steadiness. But if your mind is chaotic and your soul feels restless, stay with me a little longer. Do not rush ahead simply because of the pressure of time. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. It is within that stillness that many directions become clearer than through 1,000 hurried calculations. My beloved child, I do not lead you through fear. I do not push your soul forward with panic. My voice carries deep peace, even when I lead you into something new. Therefore, when you feel yourself straining to hold on to something, listen carefully to your heart again. What comes from me will not cause you to lose yourself in constant unrest. I may test your faith, but I do not lead you into chaos without a way out. God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. Remember Mary, sitting at my feet, while Martha was busy and anxious with many tasks. Martha thought she had to do more in order to be worthy, but Mary chose the better portion. She paused to listen. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are times when what your soul needs is not to do more and more, but to sit quietly before me and hear again the rhythm of peace. For when your heart becomes still, you will begin to recognize what truly nourishes love, and what has been quietly dimming the light I placed within you. My beloved child, I want you to learn how to gently lay down the things that no longer belong to your journey. Not everything that was once good for you in the past is meant to continue with you into the future. There are habits, thoughts, and connections that must be released softly, so your soul will have room to receive what is new. Do not fear change. A gardener does not grieve when pruning away dead branches, because they know it allows the tree to grow stronger and bear greater fruit. I am doing the same within your life, with gentleness and wisdom. My beloved child, the more slowly you live within my presence, the more clearly you will read my handwriting within the ordinary details of your days. A conversation that seems ordinary suddenly becomes the answer to a prayer you kept hidden within your heart. A delayed day gives you the time needed to avoid a hurried decision. A gentle piece of advice from someone unexpectedly opens a new direction before you. These things are not accidents. I am quietly writing the story of your life through thousands of small yet loving touches. Remember Joseph. If you looked at each stage of his life separately, it would seem filled only with injustice and confusing turns. But when he looked back upon the whole journey, he realized that every part had worked together to bring him to the place I had prepared beforehand. So it is with you. There are things today whose meaning you cannot yet fully understand. But one day, when you look back, you will see that the lines of my hand were woven through every season of your life. Not one tear was forgotten. Not one seed of love was wasted. I have been preserving everything so it may bear fruit in its appointed season. My beloved child, I delight in seeing your heart begin to understand that life is not merely a series of disconnected events. Everything is joining together into a greater story, a story of healing, of hope restored, of light slowly overcoming darkness. The gentle turns you once walked through will become wisdom for tomorrow. The seasons of waiting will become the foundation that makes you stronger for the new blessings ahead. And the things that once caused you pain will teach you how to love more deeply. Therefore today, let gratitude lighten your hands. Do not continue clinging to old regrets. Do not hold tightly to the things I have already asked you to release. When your hands open in trust, You create room to receive the new things I am bringing into your life. Walk peacefully within that rhythm. My beloved child, do not fear the gentle changes along your path. They are only the soft steps I am using to lift you toward a higher place. And even now, as your heart grows quiet enough to feel the gentle warmth of my hand upon your shoulder, you will know that the future is no longer something distant and unclear. The light is beginning to appear before you. The old days have fulfilled their purpose. And ahead of you, I am opening a new season, one in which your soul walks more lightly, more brightly, and more peacefully. Because at last, you have learned how to let my hand guide you through the ordinary rhythms of each day. My beloved child, your life is not a chain of meaningless days scattered by the winds of time. I see your journey as a long piece of music written with wisdom and love. There are passages filled with joy, and there are low, sorrowful movements of tears and waiting. Yet all of them are joining together to create the complete melody I ordained from the very beginning. You often hear only the nearest notes, and so your heart sometimes becomes uncertain. But I have already heard the entire song from beginning to end. And I tell you this, not a single note is out of place within my hands. The days that have passed have not vanished like ashes carried away by the wind. They are still alive within you, forming the foundation that gives depth to the soul you carry today. There were seasons you thought contained nothing but failure and weariness. Yet I used those very things to shape within you a gentleness without weakness and a strength without hardness. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. Even the memories you once wished to forget can become light that guides someone else. For in my hands, nothing is ever wasted. My beloved child, I do not erase your past the way someone tears away an old page. I heal it, and then I transform it into a stronger foundation upon which new words can be written with greater clarity and depth. There were tears that once made you think you were weak, yet I used them to soften the soil of your heart so you could learn compassion for the pain of others. There were moments when you were wounded by harsh words or betrayal, yet those very experiences taught your heart the value of kindness and sincerity. I am turning old scars into testimonies of grace. Remember, Joseph, the years of being sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison seemed like nothing but a chain of meaningless suffering. But one day, when he stood before his brothers in Egypt, he finally understood that I had used all of it to prepare him for the role of saving many lives. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are turns in your journey today that you do not yet understand. But one day, when you look back, you will see the golden thread of my hand quietly woven through every part of your path. I delight in transforming experience into gentle wisdom. The one who has been healed learns how to heal others through eyes filled with compassion. The one who has walked through dark nights learns how to light hope for those who are lost. Therefore, do not despise your past anymore. Do not see your difficult years as something shameful. It was there that I taught you how to pray more deeply, how to love more sincerely, and how to depend upon me more fully. The things that once wounded you are now becoming spiritual treasures for your future. My beloved child, every time you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, another door of peace opens within your heart. Every time you choose gratitude in imperfect circumstances, your soul grows brighter. Forgiveness does not mean the past never happened. Forgiveness frees you from carrying its weight forever. Be kind to one another, forgiving one another, just as God forgave you. I do not want you chained to what is already past. I want you to move forward with lighter hands and a freer heart. I also want you to understand that your future does not begin from nothing. You are moving forward carrying an entire treasure of experiences, lessons, and grace that I have quietly prepared through many years. Seasons of waiting taught you patience. Times of falling taught you humility. Moments when you were lifted up taught you the value of love. Therefore, do not think you are entering the future empty-handed. You are carrying a soul that has been gently refined through the fire of testing. My word will be a lamp for you in these new seasons. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I do not promise that you will always see the entire road immediately, but I promise there will always be enough light for the next step. When you place my word first, the things that once seemed unclear will gradually become brighter. Circumstances may change. Hearts may change. Time may move endlessly forward. But my word stands forever. And when you hold firmly to that word, your soul will always have an anchor in the midst of every storm. Remember Joshua when he prepared to lead the people of Israel into the promised land. Great challenges stood before him. Yet I spoke these words: do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you. That promise became the strength that enabled him to keep moving forward. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are days when you do not need more answers. You only need to remember that I am still with you. Therefore today, let my word become the breath of every morning for your soul. When you awaken, agree with what I have spoken more than with the fears moving through your mind. And when night falls, let gratitude keep your soul warm. Little by little, you will see the future unfold, not through strained effort, but through the peaceful harmony between your heart and my calling. My beloved child, your past is no longer an anchor holding you in place. It is becoming a firm foundation upon which you can stand higher and see farther. What you have gone through did not destroy you, it prepared you. And even now, as the light of a new season begins touching your soul, I want you to know that what lies ahead is not a dark uncertainty, but a path being opened through hope, peace, and promises that still shine brightly within my hands. My beloved child, your future is not written by the days when your heart felt weak, nor is it determined by the passing opinions of people. I do not see you through the limitations the world places upon you. I see you through the eternal word I spoke over your soul before you were born, and what I have spoken has never lost its power. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Therefore, do not allow temporary emotions to convince you that you are small or meaningless. What defines you is not your past, your failures, or your fears. What defines you is the calling I am placing upon your life today. I am calling you by a new identity, no longer someone living beneath the shadow of old wounds, but someone who carries peace into places of chaos. I call you one who sows hope through gentle words, one who lifts others up instead of tearing them down, one who stewards grace with a humble heart. When you begin to see yourself through my eyes, the pages of your future will begin to change. For what you believe about yourself shapes the way you walk through life. If you continue calling yourself by the name of past failures, your heart will shrink back in fear. But when you embrace what I declare about you, your soul will open itself to the new things I am preparing. My beloved child, my word is not merely a sound to hear and then forget. My word carries life. When I speak, chaos becomes order. Darkness gives way to light, and what did not exist begins to take shape. From the very beginning of creation, I spoke and light appeared. Therefore, when you keep my word within your heart, you allow that same light to shine into the reality of your life day by day. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Let my word become the breath of your soul, the lamp for every decision, and the foundation beneath every step you take. I do not ask you to transform your entire life overnight. I am leading you through small but faithful steps, a compassionate thought instead of bitterness, an honest choice even when no one is watching, a gentle word when others are angry, a quiet act of kindness in an ordinary day. these things may appear small, yet in the spiritual realm, they are like brushstrokes, gradually bringing into view the future I have painted for you. Every small act of obedience is another moment in which you walk together with my hand, allowing what I promised to become more visible within your life. Remember David when he was still a young shepherd in the wilderness. Before becoming king, he learned faithfulness in very small things, tending sheep, playing his harp before me, and fighting lions and bears where no one could see. Those quiet and hidden days prepared him for the greater destiny ahead. So it is with you, my beloved child. Do not underestimate the simple choices you make each day. It is through faithfulness in small things that I am preparing you for greater things. I want you to keep your soul soft through practices filled with light. Remember the grace I have shown you as someone carefully storing precious treasures. When you write down the things for which you are thankful, your eyes will begin to recognize my presence more clearly. Perhaps today, it is only a small joy, a timely word of encouragement, or a gently opening door. But all of these are footprints of mine along your journey. Bless the Lord, and forget not all his benefits. Gratitude will keep your heart from being swallowed by the anxiety of the world. And before every decision, learn again the holy pause I have taught you. Do not react hastily according to emotion. Pause it, breathe, and listen to whether my peace still remains within your heart. For peace is not merely a pleasant feeling, it is often the sign that you are walking in rhythm with me. When your soul grows quiet, you will hear more clearly my gentle guidance through ordinary things, an idea suddenly appearing, an unexpected meeting, an opportunity arriving softly, yet filled with clarity. My beloved child, I also want you to look beyond yourself. What I am building within your life today is not only for you alone. The healing you receive will become comfort for others. The wisdom you gain through tears will become light for the generations after you. When you choose gentleness in your words, you are planting seeds into the future of your family. When you live with integrity in a world filled with falsehood, you leave footprints of light for your children and descendants to follow. And when you live generously, the circle of grace will continue spreading far beyond anything you can imagine. Remember Abraham. His faith did not touch only his own life. It became a blessing for generations to come. So it is with you, my beloved child. The choices you make today are quietly writing a legacy for tomorrow. I am using your small acts of faithfulness to open paths of peace for those who will walk after you. Therefore today, let my word guide every rhythm of your life. Do not let the world decide who you are. Do not let fear shape your future. Walk as one who knows they are called by everlasting love. Your past has prepared you. Your present is the place where you are planting seeds. And your future will become a harvest filled with the fragrance of peace, hope, and abundance that I prepared for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, as you continue walking in the rhythm of my word, you will discover this beautiful truth. The future is no longer something distant that must be chased in anxiety. It is slowly unfolding beneath your feet through every gentle decision, every sincere word of gratitude, and every obedient step filled with light. And along that journey, the song of hope I placed within your heart will continue to rise, not only for you, but for everyone who will one day be touched by the peace I am causing to grow within your life. My beloved child, I want you to understand that what the world calls a beginning is never powerful enough to determine the final destination when my hand rests upon a life. There are souls who enter life carrying many limitations, many wounds, and many negative voices spoken over them from an early age. But the final word has never belonged to circumstances. The final word belongs to me, and when I speak over your life, my word carries the power to open roads that no one could previously see. Remember Jabez. People looked at his name and saw only the pain attached to the beginning of his story. But Jabez did not allow the past or old labels to keep his soul trapped in a narrow place forever. He lifted his heart toward me with a sincere prayer. "Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory." And I answered him, "Do you see, my beloved child, what changed the life of Jabez was not the voices around him, but his belief that I could write a new chapter far greater than what others expected of him. So it is with you. Do not allow what happened in the past to convince you that your future must remain limited. I can enlarge the borders of your soul far beyond anything you have ever dared to dream. There are doors I open, not with loud noise, but with a quiet peace spreading gently within your heart. I do not always move in ways that immediately astonish the world. Many times I work like the dawn, gentle, yet impossible to stop. Before the sun fully rises over the horizon, its light has already begun, quietly pushing back the darkness. My work within your life is the same. Perhaps today you feel only a few small rays of light, a little fresh hope, a quiet peace unlike before. But those very things are the signs that the old season has ended and a new one has begun. Behold, the former things have passed away, all things are becoming new. I am leading you out of the land of weariness and into a place where your soul can breathe more freely. The days of wandering through uncertainty will slowly give way to clarity. Not that you will understand everything immediately, but you will begin to sense the direction of peace. And wherever my lasting peace remains, there my footprints are guiding the way. My beloved child, I have seen every season in which you quietly struggled within yourself. There were times you appeared strong on the outside while inwardly carrying questions no one else knew about. There were nights when you wondered whether you were truly capable of stepping into something better. But today, I want you to hear this clearly. I do not call you based on your perfection. I call you according to the purpose I placed within you. And that purpose has not changed because of a few difficult seasons. Remember Moses. He once believed he was not capable of speaking before others. He ran away and spent many years in the wilderness. Yet I still called him to deliver an entire nation. What I seek is not a person without limitations. What I seek is a heart willing to take my hand and walk with me. So it is with you, my beloved child. It is precisely through the weakness you surrender to me that my power will be revealed most beautifully. I am placing upon your life a new mark, the mark of gentle maturity. I see within your eyes a steadiness that no longer comes from life being easy, but from knowing that I am still with you. This is the beauty of a soul that has passed through trials without losing its softness. I delight in seeing you still keep kindness within a wounded world. I delight in seeing you still know how to hope after disappointment. And I rejoice that you are learning how to move forward not through panic, but through peace. My beloved child, heaven's decision over your life has already been sealed in love. What I am opening before you is not accidental. I have prepared every detail long ago. Some things are only beginning to move today. Yet, in truth, I have been arranging them through many previous seasons. Just as a farmer prepares the soil before planting seed, I have also prepared your heart through days of waiting, through trials, and through quiet lessons. And now, the seed of hope within you has reached its season to bloom. I want you to stop looking at the future through the cautious eyes of fear. Walk as one who knows they are being led by a hand that never fails. The Lord Himself will go before you. You do not need to force open every door by your own strength. What I have appointed for you will open at the right time. And when that door opens, you will not need to exhaust yourself trying to hold on to it, because it will be opened by grace and not by striving. My beloved child, breathe deeply within this peace. The old season has fulfilled its purpose. Old pain no longer has the authority to define your future. Light is already beginning to spread across the path ahead of you. And even now, When your heart becomes quiet enough to listen, I am whispering within you, keep walking. Do not be afraid. I have already gone before you. New pages are being written not with the ink of anxiety, but with the ink of hope, restoration, and unchanging love. And the time will come when you look back upon the road you have traveled and smile through tears of gratitude. You will understand that every delay carried meaning. Every closed door was protection. Every tear was watering the seeds of your future. And the very seasons that once seemed darkest will become the gentle staircase, lifting you higher to the place where my promise for you shines like a dawn no darkness can cover anymore. My beloved child, not one season you have passed through has been meaningless. In my eyes, the days that seemed filled only with waiting, tears, and silence are becoming the strong foundation for what I am preparing ahead. I do not allow your experiences to disappear like dust forgotten in the wind. I keep every part of them, and then gently transform them into quiet strength within your soul. The tears you once cried are no longer merely traces of sorrow. I am turning them into oil that soothes the soul, so that from the places where you once suffered, you may learn deeper compassion, gentleness, and peace. My beloved child, I see beauty within you that even you sometimes fail to recognize. Not the beauty of flawless perfection, but the beauty of a soul that has endured long seasons of refining and still kept gentle eyes. There are people who become closed off and bitter after pain, but I delight in seeing that you still know how to love, still know how to smile, still choose gentleness within a hurried world. That is the sign that my grace is growing within you. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Gentleness is not weakness, it is strength that I have refined through time. Remember Naomi and Ruth. They walked through years of loss that seemed to leave no room for hope. Yet even in the midst of sorrow, Ruth still chose faithfulness and gentleness. It was that quiet perseverance that led her to the field of Boaz and opened a future far greater than anything she could have imagined. So it is with you, my beloved child. Some of the most beautiful qualities within you are not formed in seasons of ease, but in the days when you continue believing even without seeing results. It is there that the character of peace is born. I want you to hold on to this posture of peace, the posture of one who knows they are loved and guided. A person who truly knows they are loved does not need to live in constant haste. They do not struggle for everything out of fear of being left behind. They walk with the calm rhythm of someone who knows that what I have prepared for them will arrive at the right time. Therefore, do not let the world pull your soul into endless rushing and tension. I am teaching you to walk in the rhythm of peace, where your heart no longer feels the need to run ahead of the future in order to grasp what has not yet arrived. My beloved child, there are gentle signs I am placing along the path you walk. An opportunity appearing at the right moment, a word of encouragement touching the hidden places of your heart, a door quietly opening after a long season of waiting. These things are not accidents. They are like little lamps I place along the road to remind you I am still here, still guiding you. And as you keep your heart quiet enough, you will begin to recognize those gentle signs more and more clearly. I want you to nourish your soul through simple rhythms filled with light. Before beginning each new day, take a moment to let your heart become still before me. Do not rush immediately into worries while your soul has not yet touched peace. Breathe deeply and remember that I am with you throughout that day. Let me hear of your loving kindness in the morning. Even a brief moment of stillness is enough to restore your soul to its proper place. Throughout the day, learn to notice the small graces around you. Do not seek only grand miracles while overlooking the beauty of simple things. A sincere smile, a warm conversation, a quiet moment of peace in the middle of busyness. Treasure these things like someone gathering little pieces of light into a precious jar. As you practice counting what is good, The eyes of your soul will slowly become accustomed to seeing grace instead of only lack. And when night comes, before you fall asleep, I want you to place the entire day into my hands. Do not carry every burden into bed with you anymore. Let gratitude become the blanket that warms your soul. Perhaps the day was not perfect, yet I was still there in every moment. I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone. Lord, make me dwell in safety. True peace does not come from life becoming easy. It comes from knowing that you do not walk alone. My beloved child, these small practices carry greater power than you realize. They keep the inner stream within you clear and alive. They soften your heart like soil after the first rain of a new season, ready to receive the seeds I am planting. And within that softened ground, blessings will not merely pass through like a fleeting wind, but will take deep root and bloom enduringly. Remember Isaac when he sowed seed during a season of famine. The circumstances around him were unfavorable, yet he continued sowing in trust. And I caused the harvest to return 100-fold. So it is with you, my beloved child, as you continue sowing gratitude, gentleness, and faith through ordinary days. I will cause those seeds to bear fruit in their appointed season. Therefore today, do not underestimate the peaceful rhythms I am teaching you. It is within that simplicity that I am building a foundation not easily shaken. And one day you will look back and understand this truth. It was not only the great events that transformed your life, but the small daily moments filled with faithfulness and peace that quietly led you into the season of blessing I had prepared for you long ago. My beloved child, the seasons of trial you have walked through did not come to exhaust you, but to form within you a strength that is deep, quiet, and enduring. I did not allow the fire of time to consume you. I used it like a refiner patiently purifying gold, removing what is fragile so that the purest part within you could shine. There were days when the pressure felt unbearable, but now you will begin to realize that those very seasons taught you how to stand firm without becoming hardened, how to be strong while still remaining gentle. After you have suffered a little while, God Himself will restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. I am fulfilling those words within your life day by day. My beloved child, true blessing is not something that arrives quickly and disappears like a passing wind. I want what I give you to have deep roots so it may remain for a long time. That is why, before widening the doors before you, I first quietly enlarged your soul. Before placing greater things into your hands, I taught you how to keep your heart in humility and integrity. A person who has not been prepared may lose their peace when success arrives. But I am forming within you a steady spirit, one that can step into new opportunities without losing the softness of the heart. I am placing upon your shoulders a garment that is beautiful in my eyes, not a garment of pride or display, but one woven from humility, integrity, and generosity. Humility will keep you from seeing yourself as greater than others. Integrity will keep you from betraying the light I placed within you for the sake of temporary gain. And generosity will keep your soul open and spacious, so that even when you receive more, you will still have room to pour out love. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. That garment will cause your presence to carry the fragrance of peace wherever you go. My beloved child, I want you to understand that a truly strong person is not one who makes others fear them, but one who makes others feel peace in their presence. That is the beauty I am cultivating within you. I am teaching you to speak words of encouragement at the right moment instead of words that wound, to make decisions with wisdom instead of haste, to guard your heart when success comes, so that blessing does not become a burden upon your soul. Remember Joseph when he stood in great authority in Egypt, After all the pain he had endured, he did not use his position to seek revenge against his brothers. Instead, he said, "You intended evil against me, but God intended it for good." The trials he endured made his heart deeper rather than bitter. So it is with you, my beloved child. What you have suffered was never meant to make you dry and hardened, but to teach you the gentle wisdom of one who truly understands grace. I am fitting together every detail of your life with loving precision. There are meetings that seem ordinary but are actually links in something greater I am unfolding. A reply arriving at the perfect moment. An unexpected conversation. An idea born during a quiet moment. None of these things are accidental. I am weaving them together like a patient artisan joining thread after thread into a great tapestry. And when the time comes, you will see the beautiful pattern that today appears only as faint outlines in the distance. My beloved child, I do not want you to continue walking through life with strained effort and anxious striving. What I have appointed for you does not require fear to hold on to it. When the right door opens, you will walk through it with peace rather than exhaustion. Just as a gentle breeze moves a curtain without loud force, my grace will also open many doors softly yet surely. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Therefore, do not force things to happen by your own strength. Walk in rhythm with me, and what must open will open. I want you to use gratitude as the language of your soul. When you speak to others with eyes full of appreciation and a heart that remains open, the atmosphere around you will begin to change. People will not remember only the words you spoke, they will remember the peace they felt in your presence. I am making your life into a place where others find encouragement instead of judgment, where they encounter light instead of pressure. My beloved child, true blessing is not something that arrives quickly and disappears like a passing wind. I want what I give you to have deep roots so it may remain for a long time. That is why, before widening the doors before you, I first quietly enlarged your soul. Before placing greater things into your hands, I taught you how to keep your heart in humility and integrity. A person who has not been prepared may lose their peace when success arrives. But I am forming within you a steady spirit, one that can step into new opportunities without losing the softness of the heart. I am placing upon your shoulders a garment that is beautiful in my eyes, not a garment of pride or display, but one woven from humility, integrity, and generosity. Humility will keep you from seeing yourself as greater than others. Integrity will keep you from betraying the light I placed within you for the sake of temporary gain. And generosity will keep your soul open and spacious, so that even when you receive more, you will still have room to pour out love. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. That garment will cause your presence to carry the fragrance of peace wherever you go. My beloved child, I want you to understand that a truly strong person is not one who makes others fear them, but one who makes others feel peace in their presence. That is the beauty I am cultivating within you. I am teaching you to speak words of encouragement at the right moment instead of words that wound, to make decisions with wisdom instead of haste, and to guard your heart when success comes so that blessing does not become a burden upon your soul. Remember Joseph when he stood in great authority in Egypt. After all the pain he had endured, he did not use his position to seek revenge against his brothers. Instead, he said, "You intended evil against me, but God intended it for good." The trials he endured made his heart deeper rather than bitter. So it is with you, my beloved child. What you have suffered was never meant to make you dry and hardened, but to teach you the gentle wisdom of one who truly understands grace. I am fitting together every detail of your life with loving precision. There are meetings that seem ordinary but are actually links in something greater I am unfolding. A reply arriving at the perfect moment. an unexpected conversation, an idea born during a quiet moment. None of these things are accidental. I am weaving them together like a patient artisan, joining thread after thread into a great tapestry. And when the time comes, you will see the beautiful pattern that today appears only as faint outlines in the distance. My beloved child, I do not want you to continue walking through life with strained effort and anxious striving. What I have appointed for you does not require fear to hold on to it. When the right door opens, you will walk through it with peace rather than exhaustion. Just as a gentle breeze moves a curtain without loud force, my grace will also open many doors, softly yet surely. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Therefore, do not force things to happen by your own strength. Walk in rhythm with me, and what must open will open. I want you to use gratitude as the language of your soul. When you speak to others with eyes full of appreciation and a heart that remains open, the atmosphere around you will begin to change. People will not remember only the words you spoke. They will remember the peace they felt in your presence. I am making your life into a place where others find encouragement instead of judgment, where they encounter light instead of pressure. I see future generations being touched by the choices you are making today. A gentle word from you can heal the heart of a child. An act of integrity from you can become an example for others to follow. A quiet act of generosity from you can open a door of hope for an entire family. You do not need to do something grand in the eyes of the world to create a deep and lasting impact. Many things that change the world begin with small acts done through genuine love. Remember the little boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish. In human hands, it seemed far too small, but once it was placed into my hands, it became food for thousands. So it is with you. My beloved child, do not underestimate what I have placed within your life. When you offer what you have with sincerity, I will cause it to become a blessing far beyond what you can imagine. And now, as you stand before the new season I am opening for you, I want you to stop looking at the future through anxious eyes. Heaven's decision has already been placed upon your journey through perfect love and wisdom. You no longer need to wander through darkness. Dawn has already begun spreading across your path. The steps that once trembled with fear are becoming steadier now, not because you understand everything, but because you know who is leading you. My beloved child, take a deep breath and feel the peace I am placing upon your shoulders in this very moment. Remember the grace you have already received, no matter how small it may seem, and smile toward the new day unfolding before you. If your heart needs a single sentence to begin the next part of the journey, simply whisper gently, "I trust you, and I will keep walking." Even that alone is enough for heaven to hear the yes rising from your soul. And if in the days ahead you wonder whether you are walking in the right direction, then look around you. Wherever lasting peace remains, wherever gentle eyes, uplifting words, and open arms willing to love can be found, there you will find my footprints. I am not far from you. I am still walking beside you through the most ordinary days. I speak softly within your heart. I open doors at the proper time. I lead you through the tenderness of everlasting love. Therefore, keep walking, my beloved child. Do not fear this new season. You are not only moving toward blessing, you are already living within its flow. And from this moment onward, every peaceful breath, every gentle decision, and every faithful step you take will continue opening a journey that is brighter, deeper, and more beautiful within the hands that will never let you go.